What's up guys, Blackwar here and welcome back to another video, and today we're back for a video that I did last year about the same moment, and we're going to do a 2019-2020 Premier League prediction. Just saying 2020 makes me very old. But yeah, it's a video I did last year. I reacted to it when the season ended. The season now start next week, if I'm correct. So I think it's a good time for me to do a roundup of what I think will happen in the ahead of the next season of the Premier League. Obviously, we've got three new teams, being Sheffield United, Norwich City, and Aston Villa, and three teams have gone, being Fulham, Huddersfield, and who's the other one? Wait, Fulham, Huddersfield, and Cardiff. There you go, Cardiff. Now, I've kept the same visuals as last year. I mean, I don't think the visuals are that important because it's mainly a video where I'm going to talk and not show. But on the left-hand side, you've got the rankings from from 1st to 20th. We'll start with 20th to 18th, then 17th, then 18th to 12th. Then we'll have 8 to 12, 6 to 8. Well, it'll go then up by 2 until the top 5. That's what we need to know. Now, we're not gonna be around the bush too much. We're gonna start with the three teams which I think will be relegated, starting with last place in the Premier League, Sheffield United. They're a promoted side. They came second in last year's EFL Championship, just ahead of Leeds. Leeds, because Leeds just panicked completely. I think Norwich was the winner. But yeah, Sheffield 20th, back in the Premier League for the first time in over a decade, if I'm correct, following that financial takeover in 2011 or 2012. I don't know. I think it was. I'm pretty sure there was a financial takeover like some years ago. But yeah, it's proved to done well. They were in League One when they got taken over. Then in the Premier League, the best league in England. So I think they've done well. Will they be able to stay up? I don't know. I don't know a lot about Sheffield. I'm not gonna lie. I just know their goalkeeper Dean Henderson and their striker Billy Sharp. They are the only two players I know. I haven't seen them very active on the transfer window. Even though I haven't looked at Sheffield. I'd agree with that. But yeah, right now I'm recording this on the 30th of July, and I'm gonna say Sheffield will come last in the Premier League, just behind 19th position Brighton. They did well last year to survive, even though they didn't have the best end of season, if we're gonna be honest. I mean, they could have easily gone out, but they didn't. So job done for them. Will they be able to stay up this year? I don't think so. They have lost Anthony Knockaert. I don't think they've made banging signings, if we have to be honest. I'm pretty sure Lewis Dunk has left Brighton as well. So yeah, unless some of their signings of last year just start to level up, like Ali Reza, the guy from Iron, I don't think that that Brighton will be able to stay up in the Premier League. So yeah, I've got Brighton in 19th. Next up, it's a team that earlier this month, well, no, at the end of the season, I would never have put them there. Newcastle. It's a team. I mean, I like them because they're an actual they're more of a family. It's more of an actual proper football club rather than a big thing like, for example, United. And this month they have lost Jose Perez, their best player, but mainly they have lost Rafa Benitez, and that's a massive hit, massive. And to top it off, they've replaced him with Steve Bruce, who's known for not being the best manager with teams such as Newcastle. So yeah, they did sign Jolinton for 40 million. I feel sorry for the kid. I think his career is done. Like he should. That's probably one of the worst moves you could ever do in your career. But please prove me wrong. I would love to see Newcastle staying up. I would kill to see that. Genuinely, I love the club. I mean, I don't, but I just think it's a club that deserves a place in Premier League. But yeah, these are the three teams which I think will get relegated next year. Next up, we'll have from 17th to 12th, starting with Norwich City, promoted side, winning the championship last year. They've made some good signings. I'm pretty sure they signed Schalke's goalkeeper, Ralph Fährmann. So that's itself, like, I didn't expect that at all from them. Like, when I saw that, I was really confused, but very good signing. I'm pretty sure, like, they still have Timu Puki, I think. Like, they've got a good side. It's gonna be a team like that's going to stay around, like, between 15th and 18th, I think. But yeah, usually a team also that does the like up and down, up and down, up and down syndrome. Something that a lot of French teams have. Just like going up, then going down, then going up, then going down, and vice versa. So yeah, they're too good for the championship. They haven't been good enough for the Premier League over the past few years, but maybe this year is their year. They've got Max Aarons as well, I think the best young player in the EFL last year. But yeah, for me, Norwich is going to stay up. Ahead of Norwich is going to be Southampton. They finished in 16th last year. I'm going to call they're going to finish in 16th this year again. It just looks like a very Southampton thing to do. They haven't been at their best for the past few years. Management hasn't been great. The players haven't been great. The signings haven't been great either. Yeah, and they can't even feed anyone to Liverpool anymore. They've got Danny Ings. I think he's probably their best player now. Or like Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. I just don't see Southampton doing well. That's it. That's a shame, but I just don't. Funny story. The right back of Southampton, Jan Valeri, was my classmate a few years ago. It's like 6 years ago, I think, or 5 years ago. We were in the same class. Was quite nice, and then like he left to join Southampton. So props to him. The man's doing bits. But yeah, that's for Southampton, 16th place. Now, in 15th, I've got Crystal Palace. When I'm recording this, they still have Wilfried Zaha. I don't think they will have him in a few weeks when the Premier League will start. Whether he goes, I mean, for now he's linked heavily to Everton, and I don't think Arsenal will go for him now that they've got Nicolas Pepe. So I've got Crystal Palace in 15th. They've lost Batshuayi, obviously, because he's gone back to Chelsea. They're potentially going to lose Wilfried Zaha. It's ropes. It's looking very, very ropey for Crystal Palace right now. Because, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure they signed Jordan Ayew. I think they got him back. But what? Who's their other striker? Christian Benteke? Yeah. It's just not good enough. It just isn't. So yeah, I've got Palace in 15th. I think they still have like a solid defense and a solid midfield, solid enough to keep them in the Prem, but the attack is looking very ropey. So that's for 15th place Palace. Now 14th place, I've got Aston Villa. It might be a bit too high. I don't know. I'm still like up on this point, still debating whether Villa should be there or not. I don't know, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure like they could have the Fulham syndrome, which is like spending a huge ton of money and not being able to play together, because no one had expected Fulham to go down last year, and they did. But they've made some good signings. They've got Tyron Mings. I'm pretty sure they actually kept him. They signed Douglas Luiz from Man City, which I think is a very good signing. And then some players here and there. Matt Targett, I think, from Southampton. Trezeguet, the Egyptian. Good signing, I reckon, from Villa. So if they can play together, I think they might have something. Um, like I'm just checking if there's any transfer from like Sheffield, Sheffield who got Phil Jagielka. Okay, so I don't think that's good enough to stay up. I'm just gonna check Norwich, except for Ralph Fairman. Did they sign anyone? Um, no one that I know it. Well, Patrick Roberts, and he's alone. So yeah, um, compared to like the two other sides that were promoted, I think Villa has made the best transfer window. So yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Last year Villa was fifth, I think, of the championship. They came up through the playoff system. Fair play to them. They proved that they could play. They were the third best team in the second English division. Now let's see if they can keep up in the Premier League. Villa. When did they leave the Premier League? Was it 2016 when they got relegated? Uh, Actually, that's a good question. When was Villa last in the Prem? I'm gonna go on a gamble and say 2015, but I could be very wrong. 2016, sorry. On the, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was on the Steve Bruce as well. All right, I could be wrong. Anyway, 13th place, I've got Burnley. Disappointing year last season for Burnley. Like 2 years ago, they were the massive surprise of the Premier League. Ended up in seventh, I think, and going to the Europa League, where they got knocked out in the early stages. But yeah, not a good season at all for Burnley last year. Ended up in 15th, I think. I think because they don't have the pressure of the Europa League, they're going to be able to play a bit better. So I've got them up in 13th position. I don't think their team has changed too much, which in a way is a good thing because it's keeping them, like, it's giving them stability, and that's usually what you need when you're a football team. So I'm gonna say Burnley up in 13th position, just behind Watford. Watford. Last year I predicted them so wrongly. Like, I had them relegated because they had lost their manager, they had lost Richarlison. Well, oh boy, did I underestimate Doucouré and Caprou, and like, just it blew my mind how good they were. And until, like, as long as they stay in Watford, I think Watford is more than fine to like stay in the Prem. They haven't made any signings to my knowledge. I could be wrong. Or maybe no, they did. They got Dawson, I think, the guy from West Brom. West Brom, I think. That's the only guy I think I know in the signings of Watford. But yeah, I don't. They haven't sold anyone. So again, stability seems to be the key in the Premier League, um, which is something Newcastle hasn't done at all, and that's why they're 18th and Watford is 12th. Up next, we'll have the teams from 11th to 8th, starting in 11th position with the AFC. Bournemouth, who finished, I think, in the same area last year, or maybe a bit lower. Yeah, I think they finished 14th, I think, just behind Newcastle, if I'm correct. But yeah, Bournemouth, a team that has a very strong strike force and wingers that really surprised the Premier League last year. Whether it is the young guy on the right, David Brooks, I think. I think it's David, and Ryan Fraser, co, like, I think best, like, most assists last year, or like tied with Eden Hazard, sorry. But yeah, Ryan Fraser, who's done a banging job last season. David Brooks as well, and Josh King, Callum Wilson is still an attack that works. They haven't sold a lot of guys, if I'm correct. Actually, no, I mean, they sold Tyrone Mings, but Tyrone Mings was already not there anymore. And I think that's all they lost. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they signed Billing from Huddersfield, so that's a good signing to reinforce the midfield. But yeah, Bournemouth 11th, just behind West Ham, the Hammers, a team that I like a lot. Kind of like Newcastle in a way. They've lost Marko Arnautovic, sadly. I mean, sadly, he didn't want to play anymore, so I don't think if the word sadly is what you have to say. But yeah, they've lost Samir Nasri, I think, as well, who's went on a free deal. Arnautovic, 20 million there only. 20 million. I was expecting more from Marko Arnautovic. However, they have brought in Sebastian Haller from Frankfurt, the French striker, for like a 45 million. I think it's like their biggest signing ever, and I just think that's a very, very good move from West Ham. Um, so yeah, very, very good deal from West Ham. They also signed Pablo Fornals, I think. Um, they got him from what, Sevilla, I think. I think he played in Sevilla or Villarreal. Um, I don't know, but very good move by West Ham. I think the transfer window has proved to be very good for them, and that's why they're in 10th. And I debated a long time whether they should be 10th or 9th with Everton. Everton have sold Idris Guy like 2 hours ago, like officially 2 hours ago. So midfield-wise, they're looking a bit ropey. Although they did sign Fabian Delph, who could play either on the left, like left back position, where there's Luca Digne, or in the midfield. I think he's going to strengthen the midfield base of Everton. I've kept them in 9th position. It's a massive, like, it's a reach. It's if they can sign, sorry, Wilfried Zaha. I think if they can get Zaha, Everton is looking nice to get 9th place. But if they can't, then I think that's where it's gonna be weird. Like, not weird, but just weak. Like, they sold Ademola Lookman. They got Andre Gomez back, to be honest. So that's a good move. But yeah, Everton again. I don't think Everton has made the step towards like the big teams, the step that they had called to make like a few years ago when they had Romelu Lukaku, for example. And everyone said like Everton is going to make the next big step towards like the top 6, top 7. I don't think Everton is quite there yet, and I mean, maybe they'll do it one day. I don't know, but it's not by signing Fabian Delph and Andre Gomez that you'll make a step. If you can sign Zaha, you're getting there, but you're still not where you probably want to be when you're an Everton fan, especially when you see what Liverpool's doing. Now, 8th position, we will go to former Premier League winner, Leicester City. They had a solid year last year. Like, they're managing to keep up the like top 10, which is very good from the Foxes. And I think everyone loves Leicester in England because they're like the little club story who managed to win the Premier League. And in all fairness, fair play to them. Like, they've done bits. They could have crumbled after the title, losing N'Golo Kante and Riyad Mahrez, but they didn't. They're still here, still doing bits, and they had a very solid window, signing Ayoze Perez from Newcastle for 30 million, keeping Yuri Tielemans from Monaco. So very good business by Leicester City. They still have the likes of Kasper Schmeichel in the goals. They still have Jamie Vardy. They still have like some young prospects like Hamza Choudhury. I mean, what else could you ask if you're a Leicester fan? You're a small team with a small market. Like, you don't have the reach of a team. Like, even West Ham, I think, pulls more than Leicester. Like, it just sounds more. I don't know. Like, it's a thing in the NBA. I'm pretty sure it also happens in like football. Like, you've got big markets and smaller markets. I think Leicester is a small market, and to be able to bring Ayoze Perez and Yuri Tielemans is good for them. Now, in 7th place, you've got the madmen, the guys that just destroyed everything in the Prem last year. I'm not kidding. No, I was about to say City, but no, I'm kidding. No, in 7th place, you've got Wolverhampton. You've got Wolverhampton, 7th last year. I'm calling them 7th again this year. Back in the Europa League for the first time in like 100 years, I think, like a century or something, or like maybe it's their first ever time in Europa League. I can't remember, but they're just good. They're just very good, and they're keeping the Portuguese base with like the João Moutinho, the Rumed Neves, Rui Patricio. I'm pretty sure they did sign Raúl Jiménez, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure they got Jesus Valero on loan as well, like recently, which is a very good move. I don't know who else like they lost or who else they sold. I haven't seen a lot of things. I'm pretty sure they did sign Leon Dendoncker from Anderlecht. Like they maintain his they did buy the loan price or something. But a good season last year for them. I'm calling again good season this year. Not top six, obviously, because there's a big step to do, but you never know. If one of the top teams crumbled, then you're in for the top six if you're a Wolverhampton fan. Sorry. Entering top six, and in sixth position, you've got the Red Devils of Manchester United. I mean, disappointing last year. Probably going to be disappointing as well this year. That's just Manchester for you. At the time I'm recording this, they haven't signed Harry Maguire yet. They haven't signed anyone actually. Well, not to my knowledge, I think. They still have Romelu Lukaku. If they can do, like, I know it's been a rumor. I don't know if there's any truth to it. Even though, I mean, there's always truth to a rumor, but I don't know how, like, true the rumor is. But there is a rumor of like Lukaku going to Juventus against like money plus Paulo Dybala. If it's true, then mad, right? Then it's mad. But I just don't think it is. I really don't think there's like any chance of this happening. So right now they could still lose Paul Pogba. They haven't been able to get Nicolas Pepe. They're just. I don't even think they're gonna get Bruno Fernandes at this rate. Like, that's weird. They might, like, the only thing they're gonna get is Harry Maguire for 80 mil. So that's just disappointing, I reckon, from like a team like Manchester. So yeah, top six. Honestly, if you're a United fan, I'm pretty sure like some of the people that are gonna watch this video support United. Please let me know in the comments how you feel about this transfer window, because maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Like, maybe you've done bits inside. I don't know. I haven't followed any, like, everything about United because I'm not a United fan. But please let me know if there's like how you feel about this transfer window, because I'm pretty sure from an outside point of view I would be very disappointed. Sorry. Like, if you lose Pogba, if you have to keep Romelu Lukaku, if you don't get Bruno Fernandes, and if you pay 80 fucking million for Harry Maguire, then, like, stop. Just stop it. Fifth place, nonetheless. We're gonna go to Chelsea. The Blues, who despite their transfer ban, have been able to get Christian Pulisic last winter. And mainly they got a brand new manager, leaving Maurizio Sarri. I think he's gone to Juventus, but it's Frank Lampard. Frank Lampard at the helm of his team, basically. If you think of Chelsea, a lot of people would think of, I don't know, like Didier Drogba, but no. Everyone thinks of Lampard because Frank Lampard is Chelsea, and to see him at the helm of his team is just a very nice sight. Something that you might see later if, like, I don't know, you support Liverpool, for example, with Steven Gerrard. I mean, fifth place for Chelsea, I think it's where they belong right now. Because they did lose Eden Hazard. That has to be mentioned. Like, okay, they confirmed the deal of Mateo Kovacic, fair, but they did lose Eden Hazard, and that's not a small thing. they do have like some very young, promising players, like the likes of Tammy Abraham, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, their right back, I forgot his name, Reece James, I think. You've got Mason Mount. It's a very promising team. Also Callum Hudson-Odoi. I don't know if he's gonna stay to the club though. Like I think last time I checked, he was still like on the rumors of Bayern Munich because they had a strong interest in him. But yeah, Chelsea fifth. I think it's like gonna be a stepping stone season for them and for Frank Lampard, who did good with Derby County last year, even though he missed on the promotion. I'm I just I feel like it's gonna be like the season which will then show to the world what Chelsea can do with like the youngsters. I think that's what's gonna happen. The youngsters will shine in a few years, not this year, I think. But you keep a strong base with like Kepa, Kurt Zuma. You still have David Luiz and Cesar Azpilicueta. You get Mateo Kovacic. You've got Christian Pulisic to like not replace, but at least substitute Eden Hazard. You still have Jorginho, who didn't leave with Mauricio Sarri. You still have N'Golo Kante, the best midfielder in the world. You managed to get Batshuayi back. Now whether Batshuayi will be a threat, that's up to him. But yeah, now we're going to enter the top four. There's two teams from London, if you've made your math correctly. There's one team from Manchester, and there's one team from Liverpool. In fourth place, we have the Gunners, Arsenal. Back to the fourth place. Like, Arsenal is fourth place. They haven't been fourth place though for a long time now. They finished fifth last year, even though they completely choked and they could have easily finished third last season. Let's be real. Like, they just did shit, because Arsenal was technically the third best team last season with Tottenham. I'll allow Tottenham in the mix. But Arsenal doing a strong transfer window like that hasn't been done in quite a while now. I mean, they got William Saliba from Saint-Etienne. I don't know if it's a good deal. Like 25 millions for a player that I haven't even heard of, and I'm French. I don't know. Like he's a 2001. Like right, he's 18, and I don't know. Maybe it's a reach. They got also Gabriel Martinelli, an Argentinian striker who nearly scored against Lyon in a preseason game. Thankfully, he was offside, and then Lyon scored. But then I'm pretty sure they loaned in Dani Ceballos, which a good move. Even though there's no buyout option. Sorry, and Dani Ceballos, I'm pretty sure refused to have a buyout. So that was quite weird. Obviously, they did lose Aaron Ramsey, but it's not done yet. But I'm pretty sure it's 99%. Nicolas Pepe is joining Arsenal, and that's just an incredible move. It just is. So that's why I've got Arsenal in fourth, and also like you're not gonna mess with their defense because Sead Kolasinac, mate, he's a beast. He's going to like run at you even though you've got knives and all. So yeah, don't mess with Arsenal. In third place, we're going to have the runner-up of last year's Champions League. Disappointing Champions League final for them. It's going to be Tottenham. Tottenham in third. Brand new stadium, like the first full season in their stadium, and actually, they've managed to sign players. They've actually purchased people. Like that's, I know, Tottenham and signing people doesn't belong together, but it somehow does this year. They signed my guy. Like for those who just watched this video, don't know about me, I support Lyon because I'm French. So when I saw that Tottenham got Tanguy Ndombele, man, I was surprised. I was shocked. I didn't understand what was going on. Like I didn't. But banking move from like them. They sold Vincent Janssen, I think, and Kieran Trippier. I mean, fair. Kieran Trippier is not going to be like. I'm pretty sure they still have Serge Aurier, and they have Kyle Walker-Peters, Like that's decent for them. Um, I'm pretty sure they're also looking to get Paulo Dybala and Ryan Sessegnon. Honestly, if Spurs could do that, then there's like they also want Giovanni Lo Celso. I think it's just mad. Like they could be doing the best transfer window a team has done in a while in the Premier League. Now, I don't think it's again enough to make the step up towards the top two because the top two is just on another planet. Like they're untouchable. They actually are. But Tottenham, if you're a Tottenham fan, you've been struggling for quite a few years now. You can thank Pochettino for like what he's done, and the management has been good. But now, like you're entering a new phase in which you can actually spend money and be attractive on the transfer window. And I mean, it must be great. It must be a big, an incredible feeling, especially if you finish ahead of Arsenal. Like you're the best team in London, basically, and that just must feel very good. Now we're entering the top two. Last season, I predicted Liverpool ahead of Man City, and for a long part of the season, I was correct. But then City made an incredible run. Liverpool bottled one or two games, and with that, City won the title by 1 point. It was an incredible year for both teams. Will they do the exact same this year? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be able to reach, 98 points, I think? Or 97? I think it was 98 and 97. Like, they were 25 points ahead of Chelsea. And that's just mad, because I'm pretty sure 25 points was the gap between Wolverhampton and Cardiff. Between 7th and 18th was the same gap between 2nd and 3rd. So did I learn my lesson? Will I put Liverpool first because I support Liverpool? Or am I going to put City first? Well, first we're going to take a look at the transfers they've made. It's going to be quick. Liverpool has signed no one. Yeah, just no one. No transfers at all from the Reds. The only guys we've sold are Danny Ings, I think, and Alberto Moreno. We released Daniel Sturridge, which, I mean, that's just sad. It really is. We loaned some guys like Marco Grujic, I think, and Chei Ojo. But no signings, like actual proper signings for Liverpool. I mean, you've just won the Champions League. What else do you need? Man City, they brought back Angelino from his loan to PSV. Oh wait, was it a loan? Well, I think they had a buyback clause. They probably had a buyback. They got Rodri for 63 million, and they've got Zach Steffen from Columbus Crew, a goalkeeper, for 7 million. They sold Fabian Delph, Douglas Luiz, and probably some other guys that I don't know about. So technically speaking, City was the best team in the Premier League last year, at least on the league table. And they strengthened their team. So that's why I've got City in 2nd place. And Liverpool first. I think I'm biased. I might be biased. But you know, I don't care. I don't really care. Yeah. I'm just gonna stick to my guns and say Liverpool are gonna win the title ahead of Man City. I'm expecting a very close battle once again. The thing is, Liverpool will want to keep their title in the Champions League as well. So maybe the Champions League will take the priority over the Prem. I don't know, but we're on for a very good season again of the Premier League. So yeah, here is my 2019-2020 Premier League prediction, starting from Sheffield in 20th up to Liverpool in 1st. Predicting Liverpool to win the Premier League for the first time in a billion years. I hope it happens. I actually do. But if you support any of these teams and disagree with what I did, or even agree, then please let me know in the comments down below. Even if you don't support any of these teams, you just watch this and you want to tell me your opinion, then please do. I'll try my best to answer every one of you. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. We're close to the release of FIFA 20. I'm gonna try and do videos on it. I don't know if the game's gonna be good. If it is, you'll have videos on it. But yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and want to follow my content. I've been Blackwar. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, guys. I'll see you for the next one, and goodbye.
Pull up in the gold, I'm leading. But them other man need feeding. I don't wanna go Bombay. Them I don't know what I do when I go from Beeling. Leading the pack in black and I'm on with the bat. Snapping with the phone and dab. Boss up a man with the duster. Put him in the drip and sip blockbuster.